taking on an impossible challenge. 3 courageous celebrities sign up for one of the toughest assignments in life. With just 4 months to train, they'll head to Germany to take on one of sport's most extreme challenges. To compete in a long-distance triathlon, the holy grail of extreme endurance, featuring a 3.8 kilometre swim, a 180 kilometre cycle, followed by a grueling 42 kilometre marathon run. It's the ultimate test of human endeavour and a race that can either make you or break you. Featuring Ash Bradnam, Nova breakfast announcer and recovering alcoholic.
I've put up with years of just having no will to live.
Former model and media personality Chloe Maxwell.
This is the biggest challenge I've ever faced in my life. I don't want to let anyone down.
Rugby league hardman and father of 7 kids, Ben Hannant.
Life isn't supposed to be easy. Anything worthwhile in life is never easy.
Each dealing with adversity in their own way, the 3 will take on the challenge in an effort to change their lives, show what is possible, and hopefully inspire people along the way. Mentored by Project Ambassador, dual rugby international Matt Rogers, the trio will also raise awareness for the charity for ASD kids.
This will be the hardest thing they've ever done, there's no question about it.
This is a raw, powerful journey that will take our celebrities to the brink and beyond, to a place where people come to find themselves. More than just a race, this is a race for survival. To get the project started, Matt Rogers pays a visit to the 3 candidates, starting with professional rugby league player Ben Hannant.
Hey mate.
Hey buddy, how are you?
All good. What's happening?
Mate, just wanted to come and say thanks for being a part of the whole project.
It's scary and I know it's going to be a lot of hard work. I'm actually really excited about it.
It's a 3.8k swim. We got a 180k bike ride, so she's
Hang
a
on,
bit longer.
say that again.
180k.
Yep.
And then we're going to run a marathon at the end. So it's
All on the same day.
Yes.
After a couple of days of sitting down, reflecting, going over what needs to be done, the training, it hit me hard.
Unlike Ben, Chloe, Matt's wife, took a lot more convincing.
Are you up for it? Like,
Well, I have to be, don't I?
I guess so.
I've never done anything like this before and I guess I'm afraid.
Before my first, iron distance event that I did, I was feeling that way. I was scared, I didn't even know if I could do it. And now that I've done a lot, I just love it. It's the most amazing feeling when you finish.
He has this way of making you feel like you can do things. It's lovely to think that he thinks I can do something like this.
With the right people around you, with an end goal in mind, you can do things that you never thought you were capable of. That's the goal.
Yeah, I just don't know how anyone can do this. To be honest, I don't want to let anyone down. Sorry. I don't want to let anyone down.
I've got so much belief in her. She still doubts herself now about what we're doing, and I understand that it's early days, but come hell or high water, she's going to give it everything she's got, given what she's been through and what we're doing this for, to get to the finish line.
Next on board is breakfast radio announcer Ash Bradnam. And just like the others, he has no idea what he's got himself into.
Matty. How are you, mate?
Good.
How are you?
I thought we'd come and have a chat about what we've got ourselves into.
Yeah. Well, what have we got ourselves into?
We're going to do an iron distance triathlon.
Yeah.
So we've got that.
Is that the same as the Olympics? Are you? I talk for a living. How many calories does that burn? I'm in trouble. I've got to get going. We've got to start training.
And the goal is, mate, is we want to get you to that finish line. We want to get you through the entire sort of process in one piece, and raising your arm when you finish. Pumped.
All right.
That's the goal.
Oh, mate, that's a big challenge. That's a big challenge.
Accepting the invitation, All three sign up for the life-changing experience, but little do they know what challenges lie ahead.
As hard as it is, I actually haven't told them that much yet because it can overwhelm you. When it really hits home what these guys have got themselves in for, I think there's going to be a few nervous moments.
I'm petrified. I'm so afraid. And I just don't know what to expect. This is the biggest challenge I've ever faced in my life.
It is the Mount Everest of the sport, and that's why it's sort of held in such high regard.
It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. They're going to feel like they can't do it. They're going to feel like they don't want to do it. And that's the reality of the journey of life, though.
Matt is under no illusion as to the difficulty of the task.
It's three sports to the extreme. You know, if you say I'm going to go for a run, what do you think about when it's the extreme? Well, it's a marathon. If I'm going to go for a ride, it's 180k, and you can go for a swim. We don't just go for a swim and do 3.8k. And they're not from those backgrounds. It's not their field, but they'll be right. We'll help them through each one of those legs, step by step. They'll have all the right equipment. It is really up to us as a team to keep them mentally strong enough to get through it.
First on the agenda is a wetsuit fitting session. Doing a long-distance triathlon race not only requires a lot of training, there's also a lot of equipment to familiarise with.
I'm really excited, I'm really nervous, I'm really worried as well because it means a hell of a lot to me, so I don't want to embarrass myself and I don't want to fail. It's so good around the shoulders, isn't it?
Yeah, just the thinner Yamamoto rubber.
I hope to God this suit helps me swim because right now I don't know how I'm going to swim 3.8 kilometres.
As a professional footballer, Ben's not used to wearing a full-body wetsuit, and in almost comical scenes, he struggles to get it on.
I just thought I'd be putting on the old dick stickers and be paddling away. I'm carrying a lot more weight than everyone, so I need every little bit of advantage I can get.
Ben doesn't have a typical triathlon build, and he knows he'll have his work cut out.
I look like a seal swallowed a seal. That's what I look like. It wasn't pretty. It's not pretty for anyone. I apologise if you have to look at this.
He's not very aerodynamic, but he's got a big heart, and I think often that's what will get you to the finish line.
With just 4 months to prepare for such a difficult challenge, specialist coaches are introduced to assist with their training and preparation.
4 months, it's not an advisable time frame really. We take 12 months to help people prepare for this sort of thing normally. There's a lot of sacrifice for them and for their families in front of them. They're going to be very tired and very cranky at times and have a lot of doubts about why they're even doing this.
It's not something I've ever wanted to do. I've seen my husband compete in multitudes of these events and not something I've ever wanted to do.
It's not an easy task at all. 4 months is not a long time for getting athletes ready.
You find me a thing that you've done or you've tried to achieve that wasn't hard that you remember. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Anything worthwhile in life never comes easy, but it's damn worth it.
Next on the shopping list are the bikes, a critical piece of equipment for triathlon racing.
I've never considered myself an athlete. It's not going to be easy, and I have quite high expectations on myself as a mother and a wife, and that's going to be difficult. And there will be times when I will find it very overwhelming, I'm sure.
The one thing I've learnt in life from playing professional football for 12 years is preparation is everything.
I don't sound like much, but it can affect.
It's going great. It's different. I've never been fitted out before, so actually being in the right position is going to be pretty handy.
With their equipment sorted and the clock counting, it was now down to business with the trio rising early for their first coaching session. The Gold Coast and its picturesque hinterland will provide the perfect backdrop for their training.
Morning crew.
Morning guys.
Ready for a big day? Lots to do. Hey Jack. Hey Chloe. Hey Ben. My role is really to guide the athletes through what essentially is a life-changing journey for them. It's nothing to sneeze at. It'll be as much about their head as it will be about the training that they do for their body. All right, scared. Bit scared. Well, you got the gear, you looked the part. Now we've got to see what you can actually do. So we've got a really big day planned ahead. We're going to do a heap of riding. We're going to get out in that water in our new wetsuits. We're going to do a heap of running. We're going to see where we're at, and we're going to really lay the foundation for the next 4 months. It's not a lot of time, and we've got a heap to do.
If you're too blasé, this race will chew you up and spit you out, you know, and you will be taught such a nasty lesson on race day.
It's a big deal, and we want them to take that seriously. So a bit of healthy fear is a good thing.
Well, when you say the numbers, they're pretty scary. You know, it's a 3.8 kilometre swim. Most people out there could never dream of swimming that distance, let alone then follow it up with 180 kilometres on the bike. As a cool down, you do a marathon, a 42.2 kilometre run at the end of the day. People just go, that's impossible.
The beauty of being a rookie is that you are a bit naive, and sometimes that can be a blessing in disguise.
I'm warm, I'm lathered up. How far have we gone?
2Ks.
So we're 98 to go. Geez, I've got some work to do.
Out of all three of us, I'm in the worst shape compared to everyone else to do this. I'm not built to do this. But what it comes down to is that mental toughness to be able to push through it and get the job done.
The coach has just been telling me basically that if you do the work before, that you're going to be able to do it. Just learn to just take things easy and not get too anxious.
I'd much rather be an athlete than a coach. You know, on race day, it's so much more nerve-wracking. You know, there are babies out there that we've put our heart and soul into for 4 months in this case, and we want them to hit the goal that they've set themselves.
We've got a big hill coming up, so we'll soon find out how comfortable this bike is. But a lot of what they've been teaching me is in terms of nutrition, making sure my nutrition is right on the day, because your body's like an engine that you have to fuel, and if you're not putting the right fuel in on the day, that can play a huge factor in whether or not you finish.
For Ben Hannant, doing an endurance triathlon is about as far away as you can get from playing rugby.
It's so different to what I'm used to doing as a footy player. My job is short, sharp bursts, no more than 20-metre efforts. Doing an iron distance event, it is complete opposite. It's about staying in the fight, going the distance.
I've got total faith in Ben. He's got one hell of an engine, but he's a big boy.
With a huge appetite, one of Ben's biggest concerns is eating during a race that can last up to 15 hours.
For this size body, you're going to need to fuel it, and I'm going to be needing to eat a lot of food. Now, I'm 108 kilos at the moment, so sitting in a saddle for over 6 hours with 108 kilos rubbing on a tiny little seat, let alone how my legs are going to feel. I'm more worried about the blisters I'm going to get in places that I didn't know you could get blisters.
Why don't you just get me a Mars bar, I'll give you 20 bucks. 20 bucks for a Mars bar, a buck.
Ash is constantly wrestling with anxiety, even at the best of times. Of the 3 race legs, it's the bike that concerns him the most.
I'm nervous about the limited preparation that we have.
Great job, Ash. Great job. You got this, mate.
The bike is like a huge unknown for me because I'm starting from nothing. Like to do that, and then run a marathon on the back of that is pretty scary.
The further they ride, the more Ash struggles to breathe, and he's battling attacks of anxiety.
I don't know what it is about the bike, but I can't find that rhythm, and so it's a real struggle because I constantly feel like I'm struggling to breathe, and I panic sometimes, and I get really anxious then, and I've got to work on it because it's the major part of the race.
He's really fought some demons, and that mental battle in his head is something that he's had to deal with over the last couple of years. The battle for Ash really will be about his confidence and himself and being able to believe that he can do this.
Just 30 minutes into his first bike session, and already Ash is in trouble. When you consider he'll need to ride for 180 kilometres during the race, it's not a good sign.
Everyone else appears to be really relaxed. Now I get into this thing and it happens real quick where I start to panic, I don't get enough breath in, and next thing you know I'm in trouble.
Finally, 40 kilometres into the ride, he pulls over, exhausted and distressed.
It's an anxiety problem. The bike doesn't come naturally to me, so if I let my head get away with it, I can start focusing on just how far I've got to go. And as soon as I fall into that pattern, I lose my breathing. As soon as I lose my breathing, I start getting, I bring on a bit of a panic attack, that starts in my head, but it actually becomes something physical that I've got to deal with.
Ash suddenly has serious reservations about his ability to complete the race. The next day, it's back for more punishment. This time, climbing hills on the bike. Unlike Ash and Chloe, Ben's used to being pushed and he thrives on the challenge.
It's a great metaphor for what we are doing here, because you are essentially facing this mountain.
All right, guys, that's one of the steepest hills around, and we all got up. So, Chloe, was that getting close to your limit?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I've got some real good news for you lads and girls. We're going to the bottom, we're coming back up again.
What?
Dead set. This is challenge rock. This is not picnic in the park, all right? We need to push ourselves to the limits we never thought we had.
And then they said, do it again. I was like, again? I've got to do this again?
Chloe's not impressed and again begins to question the sanity of what she's undertaken.
I guess, I have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the whole point of this thing. So I'm just going to have to keep facing my fears and doing more stuff like this. That was hard.
Yeah, good stuff.
But I did it.
Nice work.
Yay! Well done, you guys.
Right.
I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And this has given me a big taste of what lies ahead, which is not very confidence boosting, I guess. I'm still scared.
I get why she's terrified, because I feel the exact same way. And she's not an athlete too. She's the exact same as me, so hats off to Chloe. It's going to be a gutsy effort.
As the only woman, Chloe feels the weight of expectation.
I'm excited for her that this is completely different for her. Like, as an athlete, I'm used to taking on these sort of challenges and head on, but this will be daunting.
There is a bit of pressure on her, but I'll give you a stat. Women finish at a much higher percentage rate than men. We make up a small portion of them, but we have a really good finish success rate.
More than just a personal challenge, the trio are motivated by a much bigger cause.
So 4ASD Kids was formed after we had our diagnosis of Max being autistic. We found a school to put Max into. That school cost us around $50,000 a year, but the benefits were overwhelming. Within a few short months, Max was talking. We jumped a 2-year wait list to get into that school because we could afford to put Max into that school. Chloe and I were in tears, at the thought of all those parents that were on that list that now don't have that benefit just because they don't have money. And it wasn't fair.
The whole point of me doing this is to raise awareness for autism and to help raise funds for families in need through our charity for ASD Kids. If I can do that, that's mission accomplished.
The more that Maddie explains to me exactly how many families there are that are struggling with autism, I know Benny's got his own story to tell as well. It makes me feel really privileged to be a part of it.
While Ben has a reputation for being a world-class rugby player, what a lot of people don't know is that 2 of his 7 kids are also on the autistic spectrum.
This is something personal for me as well. I'm a father of 7 kids now. I just had another baby, and I've got 2 kids that have got certain issues that we're overcoming and we're working through, and to be able to show them that anything in life is possible.
This is for a purpose greater than themselves. This is for, to, I guess, like I mentioned, spread that message of, hope, and that, to show people that, this is not our field of play, but, with the right team of people pushing you along, you can get to wherever it is you want to get to.
I can be a mother to an autistic child. I know I can do that. I've never done anything like this before, and I guess I'm afraid.
There are times throughout, this event, when they're training, when they're just going to be thinking, why? Why am I doing this? Well, it's got to be about a purpose bigger than us. And I know those 3 athletes are going to draw on, the purpose bigger than them to keep them moving forward.
For the three celebrities, maxing out is far more than just a race. It's about confronting your fears, dealing with adversity, and inspiring others.
I know that Ben and Chloe, they have their challenges and their struggles that they face, and I think it's so awesome what Maddie and Chloe have got with 4ASD kids. Everybody is struggling with something. For me, I'm an alcoholic. I've battled with my addiction for most of my adult life. Alcohol sapped away any will that I had to live. So to be on the cusp of doing something like this, I hope that other people can get something from it, but me personally, I can't put a value on what I'm getting from it because I'm learning through this to be proud of myself. I want to complete this for my own reasons, and I know Benny, it'll be a huge effort for Benny to do it, and it's going to be a huge effort for Chloe to do it. I think we all got our own demons that we're going to be facing out there.
To add to the occasion, Ash, Chloe and Ben will complete their race in Germany at Challenge Roth, the world's largest long-distance triathlon race.
We also wanted to put them on the biggest stage. And I know that Challenge Roth is the biggest event of its kind in the world. It's 5,000 competitors, over 250,000 spectators line this course.
Every triathlete I've spoken to has said it is the bucket list of all races to do.
The fans are incredible. There is nothing like it on earth. So that alone is enough to get you across those big pain barriers that you're going to be facing.
It's scary how many people are there to watch you, like it's triathlon on steroids.
Next on the agenda is a swim training session. In just over 10 weeks, the trio will need to swim 3.8 kilometres during leg 1 of the race.
In Challenge Roth, we've got a 3.8 kilometre swim. That's a long way. So the important thing here is to get into a rhythm early. Okay, you don't want your heart rate to spike too high.
With the time frame that we've got, there's not a lot of opportunity to work specifically on technique. So our goal is really to get them to find a really efficient way of doing this in a short amount of time. They may not look as beautiful as what some people would like them to do technically. That's okay. We just need to get them through this and make sure their bodies can handle the rigour of that. We want to give them a happy experience even though they're going to be in a bit of pain.
Of the 3 race legs, it's the swim that Chloe fears the most.
Swimming, I sink. You could throw the washing in with me. It would get done. So that's where I'm going to be most afraid. The run, I figure I'm not going to die if I stop. Swimming, you stop, you drown.
I think you get anxious in the water, you're in real trouble, because you can't drown cycling.
If you're not in control and everything's happening to you, instead of you being able to control that, you're going to have a miserable day.
It's about getting them fit for the distance, and comfortable. Most of the stuff that they'll learn is about what to eat beforehand, what to do after they get out the swim, how hard to push on the swim.
Ben surprises everyone with how well he swims, especially with such a big frame.
The good thing with what the coaches have been telling me that relates a lot to football is stay in the moment. Don't worry about what's to come or what's just happened or if you've been slow in the swim and you're behind in time. Stay in the moment.
Chloe continues to feel the pressure. She knew she was going to be slower than the 2 boys, but is alarmed at just how fast she's off the pace.
People don't realise, if they have never done something like this before, just how intense it can be. It's a mental game as much as it is a physical game. And a lot of demons come out when you're spending a lot of time in your own head. It can be a dangerous place.
When you're training, let's say 20 hours plus per week, after a month or so of that, you're getting tired, you're sleep deprived. All of a sudden, every day is a battle just to get through the day. Particularly with these guys with their regular lives, which aren't that simple.
This will be the hardest thing they've ever done. There's no question about it. I've done some pretty tough things. Nothing comes close to doing an iron distance race.
On a rest day from training, the 3 take time out for a well-earned break at Pacific Fair on the Gold Coast. It's a rare moment to spend quality time with family and to unwind, compare notes, and forget about all the long training hours. Like soldiers preparing to go into battle, they share a common bond, and over time they forge a close relationship. They say a long-distance triathlon race never really starts until the final leg, the 42-kilometre marathon, the hardest part of the challenge. With shoes fitted and the clock counting, the three use every spare moment to beat the pavement.
I'm a mother, I run a charity, I wear many hats, so I've got to, in and around my life, try and fit this ridiculous training.
Sometimes if I'm in a really tough situation with a run, I go into a pretty dark headspace to keep going, and I've been doing that lately, which I didn't think that I'd be doing on training sessions.
Despite the pain and sacrifice, Ash knows there are so many others doing it tougher.
And there's families and people out there that have got far greater challenges than what we do. And my challenge is going to be over at the end of my marathon, and for a lot of families out there that are dealing with what Chloe and Matt and plenty of other people are, it's a marathon that just sort of keeps on going, and they're the true champions.
Ben relishes the challenge, but as a professional footballer, he's more used to running 40 metres, not 42 kilometres.
I love being in situations where I'm uncomfortable and being able to tackle it head on, but also nervous about, have I done enough work? Am I prepared enough? Because this is completely different to football, and I'm a lot bigger than the other two. I'm 106, 107 kilos at the moment. That's a lot of weight to carry for a long period of time.
For all of them, the training workload is an emotional roller coaster.
There's been a lot of times where I've just thought, what the hell am I doing? Why have I agreed to do this? But then there's been other times where I've thought, this is okay. I think I can do this. So you're sort of, on one hand, you're like, I hate this, I want to kill everyone. And on the other hand, you're like, I'm actually getting fitter and I feel better. I've lost some weight. I'm feeling healthy. So it's, it's a very interesting journey.
Yet another obstacle the three will face during Challenge Roth is a race cut-off time.
It's actually 15 hours, which is a very small window given the amount of stuff that they have to do. They've got their work cut out.
There are never enough hours in the day to train for an iron distance race, and every spare minute counts. Next on the schedule is a pool session designed to test their resolve under pressure.
All right, guys, welcome to the pool here today. I know it's a little bit different. Normally we're out in open water or a lake or something like that. We're going to do a little bit of what's called hypoxic breathing, which will scare you a little bit, but it's a bit of fun.
Unlike previous swimming sessions, the coaches decide to test them. The objective is to take them out of their comfort zone and prepare them for the difficult days ahead.
3, 2, 1, off you go.
And it's not long before they're all struggling, with Chloe pushed to breaking point.
I've always been petrified of swimming. It's never been something I've been strong at, so I have a phobia of drowning, of suffocation.
You've got 5 seconds rest. I just want you to do exactly the same again, okay? Ready? 3, 2, go.
Good work, Ash. You've got 7 seconds rest. These are starting to hurt now, I know. 3 seconds, 2, 1, off you go.
They were employing a technique called hypoxic breathing, and it's basically not breathing. And with my fear of suffocation, it just pushed me to the end.
You would have had 10 seconds rest when you came into that wall, and you don't need to swim that fast, okay? So, 100 at a time is all I want you to think about. Just 100.
The coaches were trying to break us. And Benny said at one stage, he said, "You'll never break me." And I said pretty early on, "No, I'm already broken."
I was gone. I was done, yeah. But I wasn't going to let them think I was done.
It was tough. It was tough. I hated it.
I know.
I hate that.
But it's your head beating you every time.
Yeah.
You can slow down, you can stay calmer. It is your head getting you every single time.
While Ash and Ben continue to ride out the storm, Chloe finally snaps. In a dramatic moment, she decides to quit.
Done. Not done. Come on. Back in the water. Come on, Chloe. We got more to do.
I quit. I'm done. I'm out of here.
You were doing exactly what you needed to do. This is your race, not theirs, right? You're competing against yourself, not against them, right?
I saw that the other guys were doing it a lot easier than me, and that was one of those moments where I just thought, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to do this.
Reminded of the bigger picture, eventually, she regains her composure.
I guess I just thought about what I was doing it for, and I guess I thought about, the times that I wanted to quit on my son when, through diagnosis and stuff like that, when I just thought, I can't do this, I'm not the right mother for this job. You can't really do that as a mother. You just got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off and get back in there, and that's what I did.
Definitely questioning myself whether I can do this. It's just that I'm so afraid of drowning.
I always knew I was going to be the weakest link. I'm the only girl, I'm not an athlete, I'm just a mum. I wanted to be able to try and keep up, I guess, and it upset me that I couldn't.
The unknown can be scary. It's like, if I say to someone, run up that hill and you can see the top of the hill, well, that's okay, but when you can't see the top of the hill, you don't know how hard to go at the start, you're not sure how hard to push, you're not sure how long it is. And that's sort of what these guys have got themselves in for. They don't know how high the hill is because they've never done it.
With the dramatic pool session shaking everyone's confidence, Matt starts to fear that the team are behind schedule, and with the race just 6 weeks away, there's still so much work to be done.
I'm starting to get a little nervous, to be honest, because the window of time is shrinking, and the size of the task is really starting to come to hand.
It's tougher than what I expected. I'm still not there yet. I know that these next 6 weeks I need to up the training.
Ben is ultra competitive and he wants to finish the race in the fastest time. For Chloe and Ash, the race is more about completing the task.
I love when people tell me I can't do something. I love it that you shouldn't be able to do this, you can't, you're not built for this. I like that because I grew up with 10 brothers and sisters, so I'm super competitive. I will be racing, it won't just be finishing.
For me, it's about survival. I just want to finish.
No one races a race of this nature the first time you do it. It's about surviving and it's about finishing.
Success for me would be not quitting. I think in a challenge that's this great, that is the best outcome.
While Chloe may not be racing, she's committed to the cause and dedicates more time to training than the boys.
They both have pretty big egos, so I reckon they'll go out too hard, blow up, and then I'll be on the bike passing them while they're vomiting on the side of the road, just going, see you suckers.
If Chloe beats me, I'll be saying, look, isn't it wonderful we all finished? But you'll know there'll be a bit of me that's lying.
While triathlon racing is very much an individual pursuit, where possible, the three train together, drawing strength from one another.
With our training and just with the support that we've got in our group, it makes me feel like I'm part of a team.
Ash, I know, has overcome some pretty significant personal battles, and I have seen him turn his life around. So I think this challenge is definitely something that he will step up to.
I can't even imagine what he was going through that, the demons, the tough times, the addiction, but seeing him now excited about this challenge, all this training and looking towards this big goal, it's going to make him a better father, husband and better bloke.
I love it. I love being a part of a team, and that's something that I probably wasn't expecting with this. I don't feel like it's an individual pursuit as much as I feel like it's a team effort.
Just seeing the two others' journey through the whole situation, it's inspiring me that we're doing this together and we're all doing something that's bigger than all of us.
Ben is the ultimate family man and draws great strength from his wife and 7 children.
I am family. That's me. I don't count my wealth or how much money I got in the bank, how many houses I own. My wealth in life is my family.
Juggling 7 kids and a busy life, he struggles to put enough hours into training.
Never enough hours in the day. Unfortunately, I'm finding myself pumping out 2 to 3 hour sessions, sweating all over their homework and just trying to do 2 jobs at once, or telling one kid to vacuum or the other one to pack the dishwasher, the other one to help mum. So it's just constantly just trying to get every minute out of every day.
Ben is known for his toughness, and he hopes to draw on this to get him through the difficult days ahead.
One thing my parents taught me is if I want anything in life, I go out and get it. There's no one holding me back from by myself. But the reason people say I'm tough or I'm really competitive is because I know that in life, if you want something, you go get it.
Incredibly, just 5 weeks out from competing in a long-distance triathlon, Ben decides to play rugby league again. Training for rugby is a world away from the requirements of endurance training, and Ben's decision threatens to undermine all his good work.
The opportunity came up, they asked me to chuck the boots on and have a bit of fun, and I'm really enjoying it, but it is the complete opposite training, and that's where I'm finding my body breaking down, because 1 minute I'm asked to go on a 20k run after riding a bike for 2 hours, but then the next day I'm supposed to be squatting 100 kilos and doing power, running through defensive lines and speed, and that's where unfortunately your body can't do both.
He's playing football as well as training for this. I don't know how he's running into human brick walls and then running after that. Long hours. He's just a freak.
With the clock counting and Germany just 4 weeks away, Ben, Chloe and Ash use every free moment to train for the big day.
I'm definitely feeling the pressure now. It's very close. From what I've been told by coaches, 4 weeks out you can't get any fitter. So the next 2 weeks is pretty crucial in terms of my training. I need to be able to tick all of the right boxes.
Honestly, it makes me feel fired up. I want to hurt. Honestly, I'm ready to go out there and hurt. I love that. There's a part of me, I don't know what it is, but I love that hurt. I'm hoping that when I'm out there that I'm going to be able to really, I tap into that hurt sometimes, and I love it.
Ash's dedication to training even extends into work.
As you know, I'm training for the Roth Challenge. Yesterday had an incredible afternoon of training. I've actually brought my rapid reboots into the studio. They aid your recovery.
It's now just 1 week before the 3 depart for Germany. Over the last 4 months, it's Chloe who's done the most work, and the transformation is there for everyone to see.
I'm feeling pretty good, a lot more confident than I was 3 months ago, that's for sure. I'm feeling a lot stronger on the bike. I actually feel more comfortable swimming. I'll probably never feel comfortable running, so I'm okay with that.
The first time we trained together, she really did struggle. You could see the fears that she had. She could see that she had so much work to do. But to Chloe's credit, she has worked extremely hard. That's inspirational. She's seen something, found her weaknesses, found her flaws, and she's gone and attacked them.
I'm not going to lie, it's been really tough.
Chloe's newfound confidence hasn't come by chance. She's trained incredibly hard with the coaches, giving an A+ for effort.
You've got some good students and bad students, and that's always going to be the case. I had a sneaky suspicion who was going to be the best student, and I'll say the cream has risen to the top.
Apparently I'm the only one that does what they're told. I'm the only one that's been training consistently, doing what the actual coaches are telling me to do.
In contrast to star pupil Chloe, some of the other students have failed to do all of their homework.
I think Ben and Ash are a little bit off the pace at the moment in terms of their level of training.
Ash has not done enough work. There's no doubt that one of the hardest parts of this for us is being there on course on race day and not being able to do anything to take their suffering away.
I'm not focusing on the fact that I haven't done as much as what people might have expected me to have done. I've tried as hard as I can. Right, wrong, ready or not, I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to jump in, because if I waited for the perfect moment, guess what, that might not arrive. I'd rather give it a go anyway.
What I know about long course triathlon is you cannot hide. You can try and muscle your way through as far as you can, but eventually it'll catch up with you, the fact that you haven't done enough.
Someone said the other day, they went, look, when it comes to races like this, you get what you deserve. And I thought, oh God,
Oh, God.
Like Ash, Ben has also done his best with limited time, much to the frustration of the coaches. As much as he appreciates their input, in most cases, he's preferred to go his own way.
The coaches gave me a plan of what needs to happen, how many swims, how many rides, how many runs. I just said I can't do that. I'll let you know. You tell me what needs to be done, where I need to get to by certain points, and I'll find a way to get it done.
I'm not doing that. That's what he said. I'm not doing that. I'll do my own thing, you know. And, you know, good on him for saying it because, you know, I'd have hated to just been frustrated pulling my hair out. Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he? So he's done his own thing. You know, in Benny's favour, he's obviously an athlete and a tough athlete. That is also his undoing, though.
I'd like to see them with 7 kids trying to get to the pool 3 times a week and spend 20 hours a week on a bike.
He believes in himself. He genuinely believes in himself, which is a fantastic attribute. But again, this is not football, this is endurance sports, and believing in yourself is fantastic, but you have to have the base to actually be able to pay that off.
I think he's in for a long, painful day. You know, I'm glad he's a tough person because he will need to draw on every ounce of that.
Ben has not even close done enough work. There is by no stretch of the imagination anything almost that Ben has done that we would have ever put into a long course triathlon training program. He is training for a sprint distance event at this point, and there is nothing sprint distance about what he's doing.
I don't really care what people think of me. I really don't care what coaches. I'm the biggest critic of myself. Every day I wake up, I look myself in the mirror and think, have I taken a shortcut? Have I made excuses? And there's days I have.
Ben pays the ultimate price for juggling rugby with iron distance training. In a dramatic moment, just days out from the big race, he tears his calf muscle, and suddenly Ben's world comes crashing down. In a powerful moment, Ben breaks the news to Ash.
Morning, Ben. How you
There you
going?
go. What's the matter? You all right?
Tore up one.
Oh,
Sake.
Yeah. Grade 3, grade 2 to 3.
What are you going to do?
Will they, can you put some physio tape on it just to protect it a bit?
Yeah, no, there's nothing to do. She's proper.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
11 centimetre tear on the calf.
I didn't know what to say. I hugged him. I just hugged him because I didn't know what it meant as far as his race is concerned.
Yeah, it's not good, unfortunately. I got scans back. It's a grade 2 to 3 lower calf tear. It's just so frustrating, all the work, and this means so much to me. There's no way I'm pulling out. It's just a matter of I've just got to find a way to get to the finish line. If I have to crawl, I'll have to crawl. I'm gutted.
Suddenly, Ben's air of confidence evaporates. And for the first time since the beginning of the project, Mr. Indestructible looks defeated.
I nearly broke down once I got the news from the specialist because this means so much to me and my family. But my wife pulled me aside after the scan. She goes, mate, things happen for a reason. And just like the 2 of our kids are on the ASD spectrum, there's a lot of things in life they don't think they're going to be able to do. They think there's no way it's not possible. And I'm in the exact same situation right now where I know that I can get there. It's just a matter of can I make it before the 15-hour cutoff.
He will need every ounce of that mental toughness because he will be hurting every step. 42,000 steps, you know, of daggers in the back of your leg. You know, I don't want to be in his shoes.
He's already going to have an unpleasant day. This definitely doesn't make it any better.
This cause is important to me for my reasons, but for Benny, this is his family. He's doing this for his family. He's doing this for 2 of his kids. Like, he'd go through a brick wall if he had to for this. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't know.
Coming up, Chloe, Ben and Ash head to Germany for a date with destiny to take on one of the toughest challenges in life. Will Chloe overcome her fears and finish the race in under 15 hours?
I never thought I'd ever be able to do anything like this, and I really feel like I can.
Can Ash overcome a limited preparation and extreme anxiety to turn his life around?
To do this is going to be, probably one of the most special moments of my life.
And despite achieving so much, Ben's about to tackle his biggest challenge yet, and with a serious injury.
I've just got to find a way. I'm not going to quit, no way.
Don't miss the next unforgettable episode of Maxing Out.